Jeremiah 29 verses 11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Hello there and welcome to my channel. My name is Nicola, and on this channel I post faith-based contents with the hope to inspire someone on their journey with the Lord. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining me in a video. I hope that you are blessed today at the end of this video. And if you're returning, thank you once again for your continuous support. I really do appreciate it, and I pray that the Lord will continue to bless you and keep you and guide you as you go along on your Christian journey. Today's video, I will be talking about letting go and allowing God to move in your life. What does it mean to let go and allow God to move? So basically, to let go is to allow someone or something to go free. We hold on to people a lot. And a lot of times God is telling us that where I'm taking you, you cannot bring such and such person. But because we are either like a family member of this person, or it could be like you're in a relationship with this person, or it could be even a case where you're friends with this person, and you're like, God, this is my OG. I cannot let go of my OG because we've been going through it forever. And I don't see us not doing life together forever. And we hold on to people in that sense. Of Abraham a lot. And when God told Abraham to move, and Abraham wanted to bring his cousin Lot, and he brought his cousin Lot with him. And there was so many delays and so many things because God did not move the way he wanted to move in Abraham, because Lot was there. And until Lot was no longer there, that's when God started moving the way he wanted to move in Abraham. So my question to you is, who is your Lot? Who are you dragging with you when the Lord does not want you to bring them with you? Who is the Lot in your life? See that the relationship with that person is not working? It's time to let it go. And just let God do his thing, because God wants to use you. But God cannot bring you when you're literally holding on to things that the Lord is telling you to give up. That person could be holding you back from where God wants to take you and where God wants to take you. And I'm not saying this to say that the person that you're holding on to is it's a bad person. I'm just saying that maybe in this very season that God has you, and the season that God is preparing you for, maybe, just maybe, that person cannot go with you. But you're trying to force something, and that's when you find yourself stuck. And you find yourself going in circles. Why? Because you're holding on to things, to someone or something that cannot go where God wants to take you. And God is not going to take you there because he knows that you're not going to succeed, because what? Something or someone is not supposed to be there with you. A lot of times too, we hold on to our own fleshly desires. We have this desire that at the age of 30, I'm supposed to be married, I'm supposed to have kids, and I'm supposed to have a house and have savings in the account. You're hitting 29 and none of these things are manifested in front of you. And what do? We blame God. We start to stress out, jealous and envious, and build bitterness and hatred towards our brothers and sisters. Our brothers and sisters that are living the life that we feel that we're supposed to be living. We get jealous of those people. And that is just holding us in bondage. Because God is not a God that's going to elevate you when you're praying for your brothers and your sisters' downfall. How is God going to do what he wants to do with you when inside of you is so filthy? It's time for us to clean ourselves, like get rid of all those jealousy, envy, malice, strives, unforgiveness, bitterness, hate, anger, and allow God to move and to use us the way he wants to use us. But God is not going to elevate you when you're literally here jealous of your sister or jealous of your brother. No matter how much fast you fast, no matter how much pray you pray, no matter how much weeping and crying, you're gonna find yourself stuck. You know why? Because you're giving the enemy authority over your life. When you have all these things in your heart that are not from God, you automatically give the enemy power over your life. And then the enemy uses those things. He uses guilt and shame and all those things to keep you bound in bondage, to weigh you down, and to the point where God can't use you the way He wants to use you because you're dirty, you're contaminated. So in this season, search yourself, whatever it is. Ask God for forgiveness and simply leave it at the altar. The Lord said, lay all your burden at the altar because He cares for you. Lay it all out to God. You know, get to the point where you say, God, this is you. I'm done. This is on you. And allow Him to move. And you will see, oh my gosh, you will see how God will move in your life. You'll be surprised. You'll be shocked. And you're going to get to the point. I'm talking to somebody. I know I'm talking to somebody. You're going to get to the point where you're going to say, only if I'd known I would have let go earlier. Because you will see what God has to do with your life. Another thing that we hold on to is perfectionism. And I was a victim of that. And the Lord has delivered me from that. I wanted to be perfect. But where does this perfectionism spirit came from? It came from the world. Because the thing is, we see with our eyes and we see things in this world. And then we just perceive these things in ourselves. And we believe that at a certain age, at a certain time, we're supposed to be somewhere. And we're supposed to be there. And if we're not there, we go so hard on ourselves. We get so hard on ourselves. And then we start to worry. What did I do that God is condemning me for? Well, maybe it was a sin that I've done against my sister. Maybe it was a sin I've done against my brother. That's why I'm being condemned for it. God is punishing me. We say this. God is punishing me. Because I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And we are so hard on ourselves. When God is simply saying, who told you that you're supposed to be there at this time? What do you want for your life? Do you want God's will for your life, or do you want your own wills for your life? And that's where this perfectionism come in, because we want our own will for our own life. We see what we see, like the things we see from people around us and what the world says. We create this whole perfect life from what the world says how life should be. The world says at this age you should have that, at that age you should have that, you should have this and that and that and that. And then we create our life around this worldly thing. When the Lord said we should renew our minds from the things of this world and set it apart upon Him. Because we're in this world, but we're not of this world. So let go. You could be a sinner out there. You could be a backslider. And you're thinking, well, I need to be perfect before I say yes to God. Who asked you to be perfect before you say yes to God? What can you do that God cannot do? Who gave you this idea that you have to fix up yourself before you come to God? Who? Where did you get this idea from? You cannot do anything without God. Absolutely nothing you cannot do without God. Every time you make a decision without God, when you end up in destruction, you're giving the enemy leeway. You're giving the enemy authority over your life. And then you find that's when you end up doing things that you regret, because you make those decisions without God. The Lord will turn things around. You cannot do it on your own. Don't be fooled by the enemy telling you that you have to get a wife first. You have to stop smoking first. You have to stop drinking and partying first before you can come to God. Don't be fooled by that. The enemy is nothing but a liar. And he will tell you that. And you're out here, and then the next thing you know, years pass by and you're still saying the same thing. I want to be perfect first before I can come to God. Did God ask you to do that? Come to the Lord the way you are, and God will perfect you, because He's the only one that can perfect you. So my thing today is, whatever it is, let go and allow God. I have a little testimony. Even this very video, God gave me this word a couple weeks ago, and I was trying to perfect the whole video. And that's why this video took so long to come out, because I was trying to perfect the video before I put it out. But God spoke to me. God is like, did I tell you to perfect the video? I give you a word. Someone is waiting for this word to look into myself and work on myself and pray and ask God to cleanse me of this perfectionism. I'm not saying that when you're doing something, you shouldn't put your best out there. But I'm saying you should not try to perfect it because you're looking at someone else's video. So my question for you today is, what do you want? Do you want the will that you have for your life? Your will that you perceive from the things of this world? Or do you want the will that God has for your life? Because our ways may seem perfect, but it leads to destruction. But the ways of the Lord leads to righteousness. Thank you so much for joining me once again in another video. I hope that you were blessed today, and I pray that God will continue to guide you and lead you, and you continue to surrender it all to Him. Have yourself a wonderful day, and God bless you. God keep you safe, and I pray that no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. And remember that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So stay positive,